Wisconsin.
Thank you,
Orden.
Mr. Chairman. Mr. Secretary, nice to see you. Admiral Kilby, General Smith. Hey, I just want to philosophically talk about something quick, and I've got some real questions. So when the Empire of Japan attacked Pearl Harbor, they did it with the airplanes, and they targeted the battleships, the capital ships, thinking that would end the war. They didn't realize that how they attacked what they thought was going to be the significant asset was not. It was the thing they attacked it with. And I think maybe we're kind of looking at things from the 21st century at this point, because there's hypersonic missiles that our adversaries have that we have no defense against. And one of those singly is a ship killer. But you can't sink an island. So when we're looking at how we're going to lay all this stuff out, I encourage you guys to really look at our forward islands. You referenced that just a second ago about the material readiness of our vessels, but also fortifying Guam, making sure they have everything they possibly need, other islands in the Marianas, places that are farther forward that can't be sunk by a missile. So I would encourage you to do that. The chairman has led this incredible series of committee hearings about this defense acquisition process, and the one thing that we all agree on, Republicans and Democrats, is that it's broken. And let me just tell you how bad this has gotten. In 1951, Congress authorized the USS Nautilus, first nuclear-powered submarine in the world. It was launched 3 years later. So from Congress saying build a nuclear submarine, 3 years later, the hull went in the water, and then in 1955, it was under the ice cap, right? So what we're trying to do is get to a place where we stop having all of these exquisite requirements to the point where we can't even build them. We had some shipbuilders here, and they said that the requirements that are being handed by many of the services are at a place where the technologies simply don't exist. Even if we had the welders, they can't actually meet the requirement. So I'd encourage you guys and gals, when you're looking at stuff, to say, figure out when is enough. Enough is enough. And then the last thing, I just want to ask you one thing here. There's 5 soft truths, the 5th one being most special operations require non-soft support. And when you guys are having these discussions, and I fully agree with making you guys a more lithe service, nimble and responsive, I just don't want you to forget my soft brothers when we're talking about removing platforms, because, SEALs don't fly refuelers, and we don't drive ships. And honest to God, Admiral, that's a great thing. We don't drive them because we wind up in the rocks and the liquor cabinet would probably be empty. But so I want to make sure that you guys are taking into account our special operations component commanders and that they have a seat at the table. So Secretary Phelan, can you tell me with certainty that our special operations component commands across all the services, because they depend on these platforms, have an actual seat at the table and their voices are heard by you guys?
Congressman, yes, thanks for the question. Look, I think it's critical, and I think the services, both MARSOC and SEALs and Naval Special Warfare. I was at SDV-1 on my way back from Guam, so I spent some time with that team and see some of the things they're doing and the capabilities they have, and it's very good. And same thing with MARSOC in Camp Lejeune is doing some very, very good and excellent work. So I think SOCOM, or Special Ops, has a unique role and has a big multiplier effect for what they do, and we'll have a seat at the table and part of that whole force structure.
Well, thank you very much. And Mr. Chairman, with that, I yield.